Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Karen Nelson, aka the Designer in Jeans. Welcome back to the Blind Design Challenge, where we blindly select a color from the Sherwin-Williams fan deck, a room, and a style to design it in. We leave it all to chance. We have a lot of fun while we're doing it, and today I'm actually going to tell you my biggest decorating mistake while I'm designing. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, it's time to pick the color. Let's see what kind of day I'm going to have. All right. So my eyes are closed. We're just going to pick, I'm going to go back here today. And I am going to pick this color, the index. This would be incredible. Can I still do it from this? I got Sherwin-Williams 9093, which is nearly brown. 201 nearly brown. That's our color today. Took us a second to get there, but we can still make this work. Okay, so I'll just pull this one larger. All right, so next up, we're gonna pick the design style. So go ahead and do this. See what it is today. Transitional. So let's go ahead and see what room we're gonna do. All right, ready? Think positive thoughts, people. All right, we got the home office. So I will put all this together and show you. So here's our color, nearly brown. And this is really cool because this is a neutral that a lot of people would be potentially use. It's a C4, which is, it's towards the dark, like I told you, C1 through C, I think 6 is the way it goes. So this is the fourth one down, which is a little bit more saturated. But this is a neutral, so a lot more people are comfortable with the taupes, the grays, the whites. So let's warm up your space with this pretty brown. All right, so my first thoughts are, this is a fantastic color for what everybody's doing right now. What's really big is the browns, like all the earthy tones, like the browns and the greens. So I'm probably gonna add a green in there just in case you're actually looking to style your transitional home office, and I'll give you some ideas. Definitely need lighting, definitely need some artwork, need a rug, we need a desk, and bookcases. So we need some storage and probably throw in like a really cute chair or two. Okay, so I'm just designing along. I've already found the bookcases that I believe I want to use, and now I need to find the rug and the desk and all those pieces. But I think this is a good time to kind of tell you my story. So the biggest decorating mistake that I've ever made. Do you remember the Sears catalog? That amazing book that had like everything you could possibly want in it. It was about, that catalog was about that thick. And we got to look at it, of course, like at Christmas time or near your birthdays, something like that. They had, well, we came home from school one day and I want to say I was in like middle school. My sister is she's 4 years older than me. So she was in, I want to say she was in high school and I was in middle school. And my mom said, you guys get to pick anything you want out of this to decorate your room. So she was letting us. Mom is able to do interior decorating as well. This is who I got this from, I'm sure of it. So I always lived in a very beautiful home. Mom used to flip pieces of furniture and things like that. Well, for us to be able to do this was really, really exciting because she always had the house looking great, and we were actually able to pick the paint. Like, I don't know if we picked the paint. We were able to pick the bedding and the beds that we wanted. And she made the rest happen, if I remember correctly. So I picked this, what I thought was beautiful. I picked a canopy bed. It was like all the rage. And it had it had a floral pattern. It was pink and white. And I want to say there was like little specks of gold or silver in it. I can't fully remember. I wish I should go online and try to find this because it'll bring back, I believe it was the 80s, early 90s. It'll bring this back to you. But it was roses, and I did a canopy bed. So it was the material was on top with like a ruffle around the top. And then I want to say the canopy bed itself was white. And then my bedding matched the canopy top. So it was all those big roses with the white background. Well, I'm not girly. I've never been that girl. I've always been like more into sports. I've just never been like into pink. I love the color, but I don't decorate with it for myself, or I wouldn't wear it usually. I don't think I own one item of clothing that's pink. And I don't think I did back then unless I was like forced to wear something to an event. But I picked this pink floral. I just thought, oh, I'll just be this. This is the first time I ever got to decorate. So I thought I'm going to be who I want to be, like who all the girls would want to be. So I picked this beautiful canopy bed. My sister picked this white bedding with these huge, like I want to say it had shapes on it, like maybe a circle and a triangle, and it was this really cool wild looking pattern, and the background of it was white, and the like circles and shapes were different colors. So I want to say it was like reds and blacks, and I want to say there was yellow on there. And we came home, our rooms were done. They had painted, they had done everything. And we came home and I was so excited. I could not wait. I knew I had picked the better room, and I was just, this was it. This was going to be my entire personality. Of course, it was an entire personality shift. So that's a whole nother story. But it was it was going to be my entire personality. So I ran in, I opened the door, and here we are. This beautiful pink bedroom with the canopy and all of this stuff and roses. It was pretty, but it was so not me. To look at that room, I look like I shouldn't even stand in there because it was not me. And I picked it. This was all me. My mom did a great job making it all match and everything else. It was a beautiful room, but I didn't fit. I am just not that girl. So I remember like, oh yeah, mine's beautiful. And I left and I went into my sister's room and I fell in love because hers was just cool. Hers was so cool and colorful and everything. She made it for her. She didn't make it trying to change herself. And I just remembered in that moment, I was like, wow, I made a bad choice. And I am going to live with this for however many years because, you know, stuff is expensive even back then. And this was a big change. And I was so grateful. But that would be my biggest decorating mistake I've ever made, was my own bedroom. And it's such a big mistake, not because of the pattern, not because of all that, but because it did not match the actual person that I am. So that is my biggest decorating mistake, and I will forever remember that one. So make sure you're decorating for yourselves, guys, not the person you want to be, the person you truly are. And if you want to be someone different, sure, try something out. But make sure it's at least a color you would put on yourself, like an outfit you would actually wear. All right. Hello, everyone. We are showing you the reveal for the Sherwin-Williams Nearly Brown Transitional Home Office. This is actually editing, Karen. I filmed this entire thing and I did not have any voice recording. My receiver died. So we are learning as we go. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to show you over here is the Nearly Brown. So this is Sherwin-Williams. Again, this is a C4, so it is very, very saturated. So normally, as you can see here, I went with Sherwin-Williams Creamy, which is this one. And normally I do more of a high contrast, but since this was an earthy tone, I really wanted to make it soft. I didn't want this very, very harsh white. So I went with that. Another option you could do if you wanted a little more of a contrast is the Sherwin-Williams West Highland White. This one is an off-white, so it'll go with bright colors. It'll also go with like creamier colors. But I selected this, so this is what we have on our board here. And I also selected a lighter floor. This is an oak floor and it's a wide plank. I selected this because this color is darker and I really wanted that contrast. I want it to still feel earthy and warm, but I needed a contrast between the walls and the floor, and I feel like a dark floor would have just been overwhelming. I don't want it to feel like a cave. I want it to feel intentional. So that's why we did the lighter green wood on the floor. But I chose this green. I envisioned these bookcases on the back wall. So in my brain, You are walking up to the room. You have two French doors. You open the French doors. The back wall is this green bookcases end to end. Layered in front of that is going to be the desk. So the person will be looking directly at you from behind the desk. So this is where I brought the green. I love this little arch. I think that just adds a little bit of a touch. It's almost like a feminine curve to it. So we're not completely boxy. And I love that for transitional to go between like the boxy clean lines and also still add that little bit of curvature to get that, what I call a feminine touch to it. So we would have these on the back wall. And then this is the curtain selection I went with here. Again, it's going to be on top of this brown color. So I just wanted to soften it. So we're really fighting that cave feeling of having the walls dark, but the floor lighter. So we're just going to continually try to like calm that down where it doesn't feel so cave-like. The next option I have is over by the window. I would have, and in my brain, this is the, between the bookcase and the window in that corner, we would have this beautiful, this is a faux olive tree. I even love the pot on this. Everything about this one is perfection for this design. Okay, so on the floor, I chose this transitional rug here. I think this one is absolutely beautiful. It brings in the color of our bookcases, but it also softens the space. Again, we're working with that light. It's going to layer beautifully on this floor. It's going to pull down some of the dark, but it's going to keep it not so dark. It's just going to keep it nice and cozy in there. And then I selected this desk. I love this desk because it is lighter. So again, we're really going against that dark brown. So I like this because it's lighter. I also love the legs on this. I think it's a very simple desk. I think the curvature on these legs is really important to give it some personality. We want some personality in this space, and offices, they can be smaller. Usually it's not the biggest room in your house, so you want to add some personality to it so it doesn't just feel dull. So we went with these legs, absolutely love them. And in front of the desk, I picture two of these staring at the desk. I think this chair and this pattern are so fun. So I also love the detail on the wood arms here and legs. I think that's so beautiful. And then that pattern just kind of breaks it up. It's kind of fun. It plays well with everything because it's a neutral, but yet it gives you some more visual interest, which is very important in this space. So we would have two of those, and those would be facing the desk. So from the French doors, you would see the back of these chairs, and then you would see the front of the desk. And we would have this brown chair here as your desk chair. That way you can roll around, do what you need to do, but it also doesn't fight with the pattern of these chairs or the rug. Envision this stone lamp on the desk just to give like a soft glow and to kind of add some layering. I also added these. I pictured like 3 of these, one over each spot, pushing down and illuminating these bookcases. I think that would be gorgeous. The last thing is on the second to last thing actually, on the left wall. So again, in my brain, you walk in, you see the bookcases on the back. On the right is your window, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We have the tree, the window, the curtains, and then your left wall is blank. So I picture these. I picture getting something with the wide mat, a small photo. These are actually beautiful, or you could recreate this for yourself. But you could do 6 of these, add these to the wall. There will be some dead space, but it'll look fantastic. So this would be on the wall. And lastly, I picked 2 different lights. This would be, of course, above the desk. And this is a semi-flush mount because we don't know the height of the ceilings here. In an average home, we don't really have the room for the chandelier. So I added this transitional piece if you don't want a statement piece. If you just want something that kind of blends in and looks amazing, that's this one. Or I went for this really fun one here. if you want something that draws attention. So this one to me is gorgeous. It's in that gold color and it has texture to it. So it adds yet another touch, personality to the space. So here is the final result. Let me know your thoughts on this. So thank you all for watching again. I hope you liked this room. I thought this one was really fun. I love how it came together. I love the use of the colors that we will probably really use in our spaces. So it was really fun to do one that you may actually replicate from the designs below. Just take your measurements, check all the websites, and have fun designing. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys again next week. Bye for now.